basically a film is a culmination of so many little photographs, right? All the frames are photographs, and you create the smallest, most important unit of that film, because I feel like a film is basically so many moving images, right? So how do you decide which image tells the maximum story?
But to be honest, like Devdas time, I didn't know really what I was doing. I didn't know what I was supposed to do or anything. And I remember just going in with the thing of documenting, and the working stills was something that I enjoyed doing when I was observing and I was looking, and it was something that was new to me for the first time. But it comes from somebody who is seasoned, or somebody who's got that eye or that experience or has that knowledge in it. Like I remember Sanjay saying, I remember he saw this. So the whole thing was, he says, "You come now 2 days and you do something and we'll see." And I went 2 days, and then I think I remember showing him some of the images, and then he said, "Tiong." So obviously something that I did resonated with him and worked for him. And I didn't know. I mean, I know good image is sharp, is looks good, is pretty. You know, and actors and actresses do look pretty. What's a moment? I can now, like I could gauge, and then I think that experience of him looking at a shot of Shahrukh. It was a black and white shot of him standing against a pillar with a bottle, and I had taken that in the interim during the scene layout, during lighting change or something. Shahrukh was just sort of standing there and being there, and I just felt that it looked really interesting and very quiet. And I some way maybe at like now I can say maybe I felt like it dropped what Devdas was. You know, he was alone in that sense. But I think Sanjay had that experience to say that, okay, this is a great image. Maybe this should be on the poster, you know, and recreate it. So I realized some things about images that you take sometimes bring about a certain emotion of what it can resonate. And sometimes it's by chance, and sometimes it takes one person to recognize it. So like I didn't know about that initially, but I know he said that. Then Veer Zara, it was a still of Shah Rukh and Preeti together hugging during a song sequence at the fort in Delhi, and I remember taking that image, and then we did everything. But obviously somewhere between Yashji, Adi, and the publicity Kaya's designer, they somehow figured that this resonated with the love story of the two people. You know, that they were separated, that they were in love before, and then they were separated and then rejoined. And that's when we recreated that image again. So I started realizing a little bit about images that you take on set representing a film or an essence or a moment. And I tried to do the same. And then I started consciously looking for that. And I started looking for that on a script basis. I started looking for that maybe with conversations with maybe a director, maybe sometimes even crew members on set. You know, you're not sure who can be there, who you're talking to. Sometimes you have people that you're talking to about what they love about the script, what they love about the film. For Lutera, it was, you know, Vikram is extremely passionate about using on set images than recreating. We did actually we did a full publicity shoot post the film, and but it was very violent in its look. You know, it was about we catching Sonakshi's hair or something and pulling her because it's, you know, this passionate love story, and it was like that's not the film. You know, it's not what we wanted. So those little things also sometimes come from the director, and if they're open enough and passionate enough to have that conversation with you, like, so sometimes you can bring it up, and sometimes I've brought it up, whether it's to the producer or whether it's to the director in conversation, that this is what I'm thinking. Like Lutera also, we were doing the scene of the Paki falling sick in the car, and it was on the road, and it was a winding road, but it was this isolation of these two people, you know, where they're caught in a moment, and they are caught in that moment from the time, you know, he's been kind of avoiding, she's sort of curious and flirty, and because of the circumstance of her falling sick and everything, they've come closer together, and that love or that attraction that comes with them at that point became, you know, one of the poster shots. So we actually, at that time, we didn't realize that that would be something that we would use on the poster, but something about it looked and book became, I looked and it's like, you know, take your time, let's do this. So we actually stopped, you know, shoot, not stop shoot, but we took like maybe about 20 minutes, 15 minutes more where he gave me that time. I got my tripod out. We increase the light a little bit more. Sometimes, as a photographer, you feel very intimidated on asking for that time, or asking for, can I get a little more light, or can I get a little more, what do I think if this will happen? And sometimes it's okay to take that chance and ask, and you never know what might happen.
To watch the conversations on Dial M for films, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Geo MAMI Mumbai Film Festival.